Josh Hamilton and what could have been. Back in '99, the overall #1 pick of the Tampa Bay, then Devil Rays, he ran into some troubles, drugs, alcohol, never played a big league game until 2007, never made it with the Devil Rays. The Cubs got him in a Rule 5 draft. They traded him to the Reds, then on to the Rangers. He's been a regular season MVP. He's been to 2 World Series. Skip, we'll start with you. It's hard to say here, but how good could Hamilton have been if it wasn't for the substance abuse issues that you could say cost him 6 or 7 full big league seasons?
Stephen A., take away the drugs, take away the alcohol. I think Josh Hamilton could have been the greatest player ever.
Wow.
Beyond my favorite player, Barry Bonds. Beyond my old school favorite player, back in my Oklahoma days, Mickey Mantle. This was the real life natural. This was 6 feet 4 inches, 240 pounds, and I've not heard any PED suspicions surrounding Josh Hamilton. A lot of other drug suspicions, but not those drugs, not performance enhancing. #1 overall pick, as he well should have been, and could not live up to that pressure, and immediately lost himself, not just in marijuana and cocaine. He went all the way to H. Not to hell, but to heroin. Maybe they're pretty close to each other. And he lost, what'd you say, Jay, 6 or 7 years of his career, his prime? 6 or 7 years. And Cincinnati just took a flyer on him and paid $380,000 for him in '07. Then the Rangers paid $396,000 in '08. And he led the league in RBIs that year. And in 2010, he was the AL MVP in just 133 games. This man is off the charts talented. He is, Jay, not 5 tool, he's like 7 tools.
He does everything.
He's got everything. He can run. He could really throw. And you want to talk about easy power? Speaking of Yankee Stadium, your Yankees, Stephen A., that home run derby that he put on, 28 home runs in the first round, hitting balls into places in Yankee Stadium I thought no human could ever reach. I mean, this is unbelievable to me, and it's one of the saddest stories I've ever seen.
Let me tell you, cry me a river. I mean, give me a break, okay? Listen, since you want to take out, if he hadn't done drugs and all of this other, well, you know something? I mean, how you going to just take that out of the equation? Excuse me, if Barry Bonds, if his body hadn't turned into a poor man's version of Serena Williams, I don't know what to say, okay? Because he looked like he had breasts at the tail end of his career.
Well,
but you know something? Before all of that took place, what was Barry Bonds doing? Everybody made a big deal about the home runs that he started smacking, the 73 in one season, the 762 career home runs, total all-time king home run leader, even though some people will be offended by that because they want it to be Hank Aaron. The fact of the matter is, I've seen nothing. No piece of evidence whatsoever that would tell me that anybody, and I do repeat anybody, would have been better than Barry Bonds. And just like you could take heroin out of the equation, marijuana, alcohol, or whatever else, Josh Hamilton has done. And by the way, he's a nice guy, so I don't really want to come down on Josh Hamilton because, I mean, we're just discussing the comparisons here. But let me be clear about something here. Well, why can't we take out the pressure then that Barry Bonds has had to deal with? The scrutiny that they brought down upon him, the way they've harassed him personally, the way they let that sleaze Mark McGwire off the hook lying and all of this other stuff, the way they let Roger Clemens off the hook to some degree until he volunteered to incriminate himself. Meanwhile, they're prosecuting Barry Bonds at every turn. Since we could take out the drugs and the alcohol for this player and say, oh, he would have been the greatest ever. How about taking out the stress and the strain that has been implemented on the life of Barry Bonds, who was chasing an all-time home run record?
Stephen A., you could also say, if you're talking about Bonds, take out the drugs that he used to allow him to hit so many home runs.
Hold it, Jay. Allegedly.
Well, there was a positive test.
Allegedly. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute, though. But with Bonds, there was a positive test. That was never in dispute.
Yeah, no. It was the cream.
Whether or not he knowingly took the drugs. That was the issue.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I don't think, Skip, correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't think there was ever any dispute as to whether or not Barry used.
He used.
You didn't catch the joke. It was from Saturday Night Live, but go ahead.
All right. It must have gone over my head. And look, Stephen A., I know it's a hypothetical, but just for the sake of this argument, we're using that hypothetical because he has been so wildly gifted and because we've seen him do things over the last couple of years that are eye-popping. It at least is, it's a fair question to ask what might have been.
Here's the deal. Josh Hamilton is averaging, he's like a .313 average, batting average. That's what his average is for his career. But only 2 seasons have he batted over 300.
He's hitting 406 right now. He could win the Triple Crown,
I understand. Derek Jeter was hitting over 400 2 weeks ago. He's going to stay there? Stop it. It's early in the season. We know he's not going to finish with 400 batting average. Just stop it.
Okay, Stephen A., he did lead the league in hitting one year, so he's capable.
I know that he's capable. I know that he can play. My point is he better than Barry Bonds? And all I'm trying to say to you is that he batted over 300 2 times in his career. He's never hit over 32 home runs in a season in his career. We're talking about Barry Bonds here.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the biggest reason that the Texas Rangers win back-to-back World Series, Josh Hamilton.
Yeah.
Why did they lose back-to-back World Series? Where was he then?
Well, you can make a case.
Fair point.